Hey guys, hope you're doing very well. In today's video I'm going to be talking about tattoo schools. Now, if you don't know what a tattoo school is, it's basically a class or a course where you learn to tattoo. It's a thing that's happening nowadays apparently. I want to throw a few disclaimers out here first of all. A girl that is in my Facebook group has been very involved in this situation, and she did mention to say that Quickened is going to be doing a video like this, and I just want to shout out there that I'm aware of this because I never want to step on someone else's toes. I try and give credit where credit is due. I'm not sure when Quickened's video is going to be out, but I just want to throw that out there. I do not want to step on anyone's feet, okay? So she will be making a video on this as well apparently. I think she wants to get interviews. Like, Quickened's style of videos are a lot more out there. Like, she goes to these places and she travels to these places and she interviews people. Obviously I live in England, there's literally no way I can physically interview someone. I could do it maybe over Skype, but that's just too much for my laptop to handle. So obviously I just want to throw that out there before I start this video. So back to the video. I follow this tattoo artist on Instagram called Mike Chambers, and recently he has been posting about the tattoo school that has popped up in Philadelphia, I believe the location is. He's been posting about these tattoo schools that have popped up, and he's formed like this group. He's got all of his tattoo artist friends and non-tattoo artist friends and companions and what have you to protest against this tattoo school for many different reasons, and I'll get onto that in a moment and my beliefs on the whole situation. He has formed protests. I believe there's been 2 so far. I think there's been 2. I think there was one a couple of weekends ago, and there was one this Sunday. But they have all had like these signs that say no to tattoo schools, get tattoos from real tattoo artists, stuff like that, and that's obviously very understandable. I'll obviously get more into it in a moment. But these tattoo schools are led by tattoo artists, supposedly. These tattoo artists, I believe, haven't been tattooing that long. They're maybe not even well self-respected or anything like that, or they thought it was a get-rich-quick scheme. You know, you probably have to spend quite a bit of money to go to these tattoo schools, and they're not going to teach the pupils or the students very well. I think it's a case of, you know, hey, have a 6-week course, you'll know how to tattoo in 6 weeks. If you were to learn how to tattoo the old school way, which would be an apprenticeship, you will have a tattoo artist as a mentor. It can take years to learn how to tattoo properly and to learn how to go about a tattoo studio. There's a lot to tattooing than just sitting down, drawing and putting some ink on someone's skin. There is so much more to that. You have to have proper sanitization, if that's even a word, but you have to be clean. And you have to know, you know, the fundamentals of tattooing, and you have to know how a shop works. You need to know the ins and outs of a tattoo studio before you can even tattoo. On the 18th of June, I put in my Facebook group, if you guys are a part of that, hi, hello. If not and you want to be, I'll leave a link to the Facebook group down below. Anyway, on the 18th of June, I put this post saying, I want to hear your feels about something. I follow a few tattoo artists that have posted about a protest they come up with against a tattoo school. I left the link to the video. I will leave that down below if you guys want to see that. And then I carry on saying, tattoo schools seem to be popping up here and there lately. If you've seen Needles and Pins, you would have seen Grace Neutral go to one. Tattoo artists who went through the grueling tattoo apprenticeships are pissed, and rightfully so. In my opinion, you have to eat, sleep, breathe a tattoo life before you even lay a finger on a tattoo machine. Not walk into a classroom at 9 AM and leave at 5 PM and your day is over. Apprentices spend most of their life studying and drawing. Spending a few hours in a classroom is just, I don't know. They're not working and learning how a real studio works. To me, that's what makes tattooing and tattoo artists so fascinating. They have so much passion. I've always been a bit iffy about scratchers who learn to tattoo at home, but honestly, I'd rather be tattooed by someone who learned in their shed and then worked in a studio than someone who learned in a classroom. I know finding apprenticeships are hard, and yes, the tattoo schools could help those who want to learn that can't get into a studio, but if you want something that badly, you'll push and push and push to get what you want. Anyway, I want to know your feels on this. And then I said at the bottom, another interesting video you may want to watch from John Barrett. He did this beautiful piece of art right here for me. He's a true OG of the tattoo world. He's awesome. But he made a video on tattoo apprenticeships. If you guys are interested in that, I highly recommend you watch that. And he said it was like really hard, but he knew what he was getting himself into, and that's the way it should be. So yeah, I made that post in my Facebook group because that was my initial thoughts. Like, from any tattoo artist I've ever spoke to, they have said, you know, apprenticeships are hard, they're not fun, they're grueling. You have to be able to, you know, draw first of all, and then you have to practice on foreign objects like fake skin or pound of flesh or something like that. Kate Mandela Kitten here on YouTube said she has tattooed dildos before because they have that fake skin feel. They're a lot cheaper than pound of flesh, which is, you know, understandable. You know, you gotta do what you've gotta do. But yeah, you have to do so much before you even touch a tattoo machine, and you have to, you know how a tattoo machine works before you even, you know, touch it, before you even look at it. There's a lot that a tattoo apprentice has to go through before becoming a tattoo artist, or before even picking up a tattoo machine. So obviously these tattoo artists that have been through the process of an apprenticeship are pissed. So when I put that post up, a few people commented saying, yeah, I can understand what you're saying, and other few people said, you know, it is a good idea. But then there was a girl that was in my group, her name is Sarah. Hi Sarah, if you're watching this, no doubt you will. She said my boyfriend was there protesting, and so that's cool, like we have like an inside link there. But her boyfriend is good friends with Mike Chambers. On Sunday, so this was the Sunday that's just gone, I'm filming this on Thursday, so it's just the Sunday that's just gone, Sarah posted on the group saying, going to my first tattoo school, protest in a few minutes, I'm kind of nervous. And a comment saying, oh, tell us how it goes, really interested in the whole situation, which is very true. And then she posted a photo. If I get permission from Sarah, I'm going to put the photo up here. If she doesn't want her photo shared, then I won't. Obviously, I'm going to respect people's boundaries. And she said the protest went well. They snuck most of the people in through the back entrance, and they called the police twice because we were too close to the door. Other than that, it was quite a mellow event. I was only able to snap a few pictures, but here's one. And there was obviously a good turnout there of tattoo artists and tattoo fanatics. So yeah, that's all happened. I'm looking through the actual Facebook group that is called No Tattoo School. I'm going to obviously leave the link down to that below. Anything that I've mentioned in this video, I will leave links down below too, so you guys can have a look yourself. So yeah, my initial thoughts on this tattoo school was like, well, no. Like, why would you invent a school to mass produce tattoo artists? Like, it's not like a hairdresser's where, you know, nearly everyone needs to go to a hairdresser, you know, once or twice or 3, 4, 5 times a year. Going to a tattoo artist is a choice. To me, there is enough tattoo artists out there. Obviously, if there was more, that's cool, but we don't need to mass produce tattoo artists. We just don't need to do that. You know, every town where, well, the town I live in, there is like 5 tattoo studios, and the town that I work in, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's another 5 there. Like in every town, I believe there is enough tattoo studios. They may be a bit spread out and only in towns, but to me, there's enough. We don't need to, you know, mass produce tattoo artists. We just don't need to do that. I know there's a lot of people that want to be tattoo artists, and it's a very, very hard industry to get into. I know that. I mean, I never try myself, but I just know from talking to some of my subscribers and talking to tattoo artists who wanted to be tattoo artists, and it took them forever to be tattoo artists. But if you really want something, it's worth the grind, and it's worth, you know, waiting for. You know, good things come to those that wait, right? So obviously there's that side of things. That was my first response. I was like, why would you want to do this? Also with tattoo schools, you're not going to get the experience of working in a studio. It's going to be so different. Learning in a classroom is completely different to, you know, working in a studio. They might do work experience, but what respectable tattoo studio is going to take someone that's come from a tattoo school? They're just not going to do it. They're not going to offer work experience. They're going to have an apprentice, and they're going to put all that time and effort and hard work and any spare time that they have, because let's face it, tattoo artists are very, very, very busy people. They don't just work in the studio, they're at home as well, practicing drawing, looking at their schedules, pre-drawing for clients. You know, like tattoo artists work around the clock, and then any free time they have, they're going to put that time into their apprentice. They're not going to have time for a work experienced person to come in from one of these tattoo schools. They're not going to have it. I wouldn't have it. I'd just like, no, I can't have you, I already have an apprentice, I'm not doing work experience. Like, it's just, there's no time for that. And then the other thing with all these tattoo schools, obviously with no experience, they only have experience within a classroom, it's going to be so hard for them to get a job. I would imagine so. Also, like I was saying, like, it's very hard to get in a studio. Obviously a few studios have guest spots and stuff like that, and they have open chairs. They're going to take in people that have been tattooing before, that have that studio experience. I would imagine so anyway. Again, that's what I would do. I would pick someone that has been in a studio, has worked within the studio lifestyle, over someone that's been in a classroom for a year, 6 months, whatever it is. I'm not too sure how long these classes are. I can imagine they're not that long, and I can imagine there's just not that much that goes into it, I don't know. So obviously the old school way of learning to tattoo is the apprenticeship way. It's been like that for, I don't know, 100 years, however long. It's an old school way of learning and it's worked. And if you look at all the amazing tattoo artists that are out there today, they have all been apprentices. And that's what it is. It's like a whole family generation thing. Like tattoo artists hand things down to their apprentice, and then that apprentice will be a tattoo artist, and then they'll have an apprentice. Like, it's tips and tricks and trade secrets and techniques, they all get passed down from generation to generation to generation. And then you have this mass producing school factory bullshit, and what they're learning, they're learning from like 1, 2, 3 tattoo artists maybe, from wherever they come from, and it's just not the same. It hasn't got that old school, it just doesn't feel right. It is an old school way of doing things, but it's worked so far. We've never needed schools or anything like that to teach tattooing. And the thing is with these tattoo schools, so as I was saying earlier, apprenticeships are very, very hard, you know. Like, you never get to touch a tattoo machine until a tattoo artist thinks you're like 110% ready to even draw a dot. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're very, very strict, and rightfully so, because they have taught you, it's their name at risk because of you. If that makes sense? Like, a tattoo artist teaching an apprentice is basically a babysitter or a parent. Do you know what I mean? Like, they form that close bond. So if an apprentice fucks up, it's actually the tattoo artist mentoring that apprentice's fault, if that makes sense, because they could have just let them loose way too early. It's the tattoo artist's name on the line, not the apprentice, because they're just learning. Like, apprentices and tattoo artists have such a close bond, and like this tattoo school, it's just like I was saying, mass producing. They don't have that closeness, and that's what makes the tattoo industry so great. 'Cause if you've ever been in a tattoo studio, you know, like, there's so much banter, everyone gets along so well, and it's just like walking into a family house. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's so proud of each other, everyone loves looking at each other's work. And you know, when I got my tattoo by Danny Coipo, like, most of the artists come in to have a look, you know, they're all like so close, and it's so awesome to be even a part of that for like 2 hours. Like, when you walk into a studio, it's like a family environment. Now with these schools popping up, there is so much that could go wrong when it comes to tattooing. Infections, bad tattoos. If you're mass producing and it's a classroom, say, full of 15 people, and there's only like 2 tattoo artists teaching, or maybe 1, they're not all getting the attention they would get if it was one-on-one, like a tattoo artist and an apprentice. It's not gonna work. It shouldn't work, and I don't believe in it, honestly. And with tattoo schools, they're going to make things a lot easier. Now, with, like I was saying, with apprenticeships, they're extremely hard. Some apprentices don't even make it that far. They don't even make it to the point where they can tattoo, because they just can't handle the pressure. And then obviously you've got to learn like proper techniques when it comes to sanitization, cleaning a station, putting a machine together. With a tattoo school, like, it'll be pretty freaking easy. Do you know what I mean? You'll go into the classroom and it'll be a case of, oh, today I'm learning how to put a needle in the machine, and then you go home. But with an apprenticeship, you're learning to put that needle in that machine like for a month or something like that. You're learning the steps over and over and over and again, over and over and over again until you want to physically break down and cry because you cannot handle it anymore. So that's the other thing about these tattoo schools. It'll be a case of, okay, I'm going into classroom to learn this for 3 days and then it's over. We've done it a couple of times, it's cool, whatever. But with an apprenticeship, you learn it until your eyes bleed. Tattoo schools are going to be a lot easier, and that's not the best thing, because when an apprenticeship is hard and apprentices quit and give up, that's basically tattoo studios wheedling out the weak. It sounds very mean and very harsh, but I would rather be tattooed by an artist that has probably spent years crying than someone that's been in a tattoo school who learned something for like 3 days and then they're like, you know what, I've done this enough, whatever, it's cool. People that have learned the apprenticeship way have learned hard for months on one topic, on one situation, where this school thing is like 3 days. Do you see what I'm saying here? The other situation people have been saying, this whole protesting against the schools is quite elitist. It's like saying, oh, I'm better than you, the way you're doing stuff is wrong. And the thing is, like, okay, I can see that point, but here comes the but. It's like with everything in life, I would say, like there's always gonna be the people that are really, really passionate about what they do, and then a quick way comes along and it's just like, no, whoa, stop, we don't need this, we're fine the way we are, why are you doing this? I would love to know your guys' views on this as well, so comment down below. I may make a follow-up video about this, on your guys' opinions, or if anything progresses. I'll obviously keep you guys updated. I'll obviously try and keep in good contact with Sarah, who has been to one of these protests, who's part of the group. I want to see how all of this folds out. It's very, very interesting to me because you guys know me, I'm tattoo obsessed, especially with like the art and the culture and like problems when it comes to being tattooed and just all of this stuff that's tattoo related. I'm into it, I dig it. So yeah, until my next video, I hope you guys are all doing very well, and until then, bye.